Hi there, Ira Carroll here. For those of you who aren't familiar with me and the work that I do, I'm a Master Certified NLP Practitioner or Neuro-Linguistic Programming. NLP initially started out as modeling human excellence in that there's a couple of guys, John Grinder and Richard Bandler, who would go out and they would begin to model and study some of the most successful people in a lot of different industries like therapy and coaching and skiing and athletics and all these different areas so they can begin to model how it was they were getting the results they were getting. So consider the possibility that what separates success from mediocrity is not the action that we take, but what is producing the action that we take. What you might not know is that what's producing the consistent actions you take are the consistent emotions you feel. And what's producing the consistent emotions you feel are the consistent patterns of thinking that you think. And what's producing those consistent patterns of thinking is your programming. It's your unconscious belief systems about what's true and what's not true about yourself and about the world around you. So what this is suggesting is that if you begin to change the programming or the conditioned mental patterns that you've adopted through living life, that you can change the conditioned pattern of thinking, which will change the conditioned patterns of emotion, which will change the conditioned actions that you take. And those conditioned patterns of action and behavior that you take will eventually change your results. And so this work is about reconditioning the mind. Well, we all have that part of our life that we're struggling in. It could be our finances, it could be our business, it could be our relationships, it could be our health, it could be our emotional state of being. We all have that area of life where we just continue to stumble and recreate the same old patterns over and over and over again. And so if you come to this workshop, if you can see yourself going to the workshop and attending the workshop, what you'll get is a reconditioned experience internally of what that's like, of changing that part of your life that needs to be changed, to create the new neurological change that needs to take place in order to feel the new emotion, in order to take the new action. So we're going to really look at 7 different processes that will not only teach you, but also let you have an experience of, so that when you leave the workshop, you're inspired to make change. And it doesn't seem like you're pushing against something. It just feels like you're going with the flow. It feels like change is the next common denominator or the next logical step. Well, when I'm working with people one-on-one, what we notice is that they're so much closer to creating change in that area of their life than they realize. And it really reminds me of a golfer a few years back who was, at the top of his game at one point, but then he kind of fell into a slump. And he started hitting the balls and shanking them way offline and was just way far off from the green and way far off from the hole where he wanted it to go. And so he brought in a coach, and he hired a coach to analyze his swing and look at his swing. And what he realized is that he was only 2 millimeters off from hitting the ball dead on, because somehow, some way, he had adopted the part of his swing where he at the end would twist just a little bit, just enough to turn the head of the club 2 millimeters away. And what that equated to was 20 or 30 feet off the mark where he originally intended it to go. So the coach came in and he saw this small tweak in his swing that he needed to make. And after making that quick shift, after making that change, he began to hit the ball dead on. And the ball ended up going under the green and onto the fairway, and he was back on top of his game. But the interesting part is that it was only 2 millimeters off. And so in a lot of cases in our lives, especially in that specific area that you want to create change in, you might only be 2 millimeters off. So just think, you might be one breakthrough away, one process away, one tool away from creating massive changes in your life. And so if this resonates with you, and I hope it does, feel free to click the register now button right below this video and see yourself there. See yourself going through the processes and really experiencing the change that you're looking for in that particular area of your life. And if you're one of the first 10 to register, you'll get $208 worth of free stuff. One of them is a free coaching session with me, a 90-minute free coaching session with me. And the other one is an absolute success system audio program that you'll receive for free just as my gift for you joining and coming. And so click the register now button and don't wait any longer. Your life is waiting for you, and there's so much inside of you. There's so much potential inside of you. And I hope that this workshop will be the catalyst for you to create change in your life. Thank you. Take care. I look forward to seeing you, and God bless.